Good morning and welcome to our kitchen. I'm Gordy Galusha.
I'm Nancy Ostrash.
And today we're going to be making favorite mashed sweet potatoes, a Dijon pork medallions, and brownies with frosting. And we're going to start off with Nancy browning her pork medallions.
That's right. Okay. I'm sure like many of you, I'm like pork tenderloins are one of your best buys if you like pork, and you want to get recipes on how to prepare them. They kind of need some kind of flavoring when you bake them. So this one goes along with, I got a pound tenderloin here, and I've slit it into 8 slices, and then I pounded them into little fillets, and then I have started to sprinkle lemon pepper. Now it's hard to find, but you can get lemon pepper without salt, and this is at a grocery store in Allendale that I found. Oh, wonderful, salt-free. So I grabbed it right up. So I have started to sprinkle the lemon pepper over the tenderloins, and I'm going to brown them in 2 tablespoons of margarine or butter, whatever you prefer. And I only have to cook these for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, because then I'm going to remove them and do something else, which I'll do later. So now that I've got those started, and I'm going to turn it over to Gordy to do her dessert.
Okay, today I'm going to make a very, very easy recipe, and I'm going to frost them. I'm going to make brownies, and then I'm going to make frosting to put on top. To begin with, this is a pouch brownie mix. You get these great big boxes down at BJ's, and they have 3 or 4 pouches of brownies in them, and they're good to keep on hand. So I have 1 pouch in here, and I have an egg and a 1/4 cup of water and a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and I'm going to mix it until it's smooth. These do not last very long in my house, or my family's house. Everybody seems to like them, and they're very easy to make if you have company coming and you want a quick recipe. Make some brownies and frost them. Okay, I got them pretty well mixed up here. I'm going to put them in a pan that I have sprayed. This is a very, very quick dessert. Okay, and you spread this out in your pan. This is a square 9x9 pan. Make sure that you get it even. Okay, when you get this all done, this part, you put them in a 350 oven for 34 minutes. But in the meantime, you can check them with a toothpick and see how they're doing. This looks like it's got a hump in the middle. Okay. Looks good, and that's what they look like. And they're going into a oven, 350 for 34 minutes, and back to Nancy.
Well, I'm not finished with the tenderloin yet, but I can go on to my sweet potato recipe. I have in my bowl here 3 medium sweet potatoes. Now that unfortunately, now that it's getting into fall, when we're doing this show, we're thinking about heartier meals, and sweet potatoes will be coming up for holidays and just plain every day. So
Sweet potatoes and apples.
apples too, yep.
Yep, they're big fall food matter.
So I boiled these, peeled them, and mashed them. And this is just, I'm sure you have your favorite recipes for fixing sweet potatoes, and maybe this might be a little different. Let me take out some of these pork. About the tenderest pork selections you can get, I think, are the tenderloins. I know I like pork chops with the bone in, and since I don't use any tenderizer because it's too salty that I'm used to, I pound my pork chops and hope for the best. But a pork tenderloin, and usually pretty much fat-free, no bone, it's a good buy. So, continuing to do the pork over here. These are my sweet potatoes. And this recipe did not call for any margarine in them. So I'm going to start out with the right recipe, change it. 1.5 tablespoons of orange juice. Okay. This is not orange juice. I don't use it in the house much anymore. I've gone to cranberry juice. But I did have some small cans of pineapple juice, so I'm going to try substituting some pineapple juice, 1.5. And 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. Take out my pieces of bread that keep it soft. And turn the rest of my pork. Okay. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And it doesn't matter really if you use light or dark, whatever you have on hand. One tablespoon of maple syrup. if you find that this might be too sweet for you, then use less, or don't put in, I'm going to say big things, use less. And a dash of pumpkin pie spice. Pumpkins, that's also seasonal now.
Yes, that is, and it's getting closer.
Okay, finished off the pork. Take that off the heat for now, and you've got some nice juices and seasoning of the lemon pepper. So, back to this. Okay. And salt to taste. These recipes I'm doing is about serving for 4 people, unless you have hungry men in your family. Okay, let's check. Maybe just a little more salt. Okay. We are fortunate around here, if you're a lover of maple syrup in the Northeast, you have a wide variety of places you can get maple syrup. Ones that are processed right around here, and others that come from Canada or Vermont or
in your backyard at Oak Street Extension.
Yes, you did that. You and your husband
yes,
used to do it.
Oh, he just loved doing that. He tapped 3 maple trees.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of sap from it. Got a
You
lot
do,
of sap for
yeah.
those three trees. He'd have gather it all up and have it in the spare room. And when he had a lot of it, he would go out and start a fire in the fireplace out back. And I had a great big canning pot that he put all the sap in, and he sat there all day long cooking that sap down with his dog and the radio. Then when he got where he was supposed to be, he would bring it back into the kitchen and finish it off. I've had to wash the kitchen walls a few times, but
yeah.
other than that, it was the best maple syrup I've ever eaten.
Sure. Sure.
I don't know if anybody has ever heard of sugar on snow.
Oh, yeah.
It's an old Vermont recipe that I don't know. I'm sure people have tried and really liked it, but it's really something to cook the syrup down and spread it on all over maple syrup and eat it with a cracker.
Oh, now that.
Take the sweetness out.
Stuff,
Take
sure.
all the sweetness.
Sure.
And the kids just love doing that.
Yeah.
They loved making ice cream. We used to make ice cream.
And flavored maple? Or pour it over the...
syrup. And we used to make maple walnut and vanilla. I had a big churning ice cream maker.
Yeah.
And it was the best ice cream.
Sure.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to have fun doing stuff like that.
Yeah. So I've put the frying pan back on the heat again and getting the juices and from the cooking the pork. And now I'm going to add a few ingredients to make like a sauce. So I want 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And normally I would use fresh lemon, but I was out. So and 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I get a kick out of, like, on TV, how different people pronounce Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, I know it.
Maybe I'm wrong myself.
I think there's probably only one way to pronounce it, isn't it? Worcestershire?
Correctly?
Correctly? Yeah. I don't know.
1 teaspoon, it says, of Dijon mustard. Get my okay. Stir this together with the drippings. Get it all mixed well together. And then I'm going to put the pork tenderloins, medallions, back into the fry pan. It doesn't make an awful lot of juice, sauce. Possibly, I would even, double the recipe. And I'm going to let that just simmer away for a few more minutes.
Okay, my brownies are cooling a little bit, and I'm going to make very, very easy chocolate frosting to put on them. In my pan, I have 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa right into my pan. Okay, I'm going to whisk that around. Whoops, I'm caught here. I'm going to whisk this around and get it smooth. It's a very, very easy frosting to make. And it'll be fine if you don't get confectionery sugar all over the kitchen. Okay, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of confectionery sugar. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of milk. I may just put a little extra in, so see how it is. And a teaspoon of vanilla. And that's all it is to it. Okay, put that up. And then mix this all up. You really have to mix it hard to get the little white specks out of the confectionery sugar. Okay, and that's all you have to do to make a very good frosting for your brownies. So please try them and see how fast they go. They don't stick around very long. So my brownies are still cooling, and when we come back, we'll be at our table and everything will be ready to go.
Welcome back to our table. We've got 3 selections here, kind of a fall type meal. Browns and oranges and browns. There are a lot of sunflowers out now. So they are very pretty in the fields. The 2 things that I made today are Dijon pork medallions. That was pretty easy to put together because I just took a pork tenderloin and sliced it into 8 slices, and then I pounded it even, and they came out bigger portions. This is going to serve about 4 people unless you've got a hungry men around in your house. And you just brown them. You don't have to cook them very long because as a roast they cook up very quickly. You know, I took them out and set them aside to keep them and kept them warm. In the skillet that I had cooked the pork in, there was the nice margarine and butter margarine or butter that was still in the pan, and the juices from the meat. And to that you added some lemon juice, 2 tablespoons, some Worcestershire sauce, some Dijon mustard, and I eventually added some parsley. And you simmer that a little bit, cook it down, you put the pork back in again, and gently let the pork marinate in those juices. Actually, because it took a little bit longer to get everything done here, I added some of the pineapple juice which I had used in my sweet potatoes, and that was an easy thing to do. Another way to flavor your sweet potatoes with either orange juice, you mash them after you've cooked them, mash them, and add some orange juice, and I use pineapple juice because I substituted, some brown sugar, some maple syrup, and a dash of pumpkin pie spice and salt to taste, and you just mix that up. And those are my 2 selections today. How about you, Gordy?
Today I made brownie mix. I got down to BJ's. It comes in a large box and it has 4 pouches in it. And all is to open up the pouch of brownie mix and add an egg and a 1/4 cup of water and a 1/2 cup of oil and mix it up and put it in, spray a pan and put it in the oven and bake it for 34 minutes. Take it out and cool it, and then you make a chocolate frosting, which is very, very easy to make. And you melt 3 tablespoons of butter, and after butter is melted, you stir in 2 tablespoons of cocoa, and I added a 1.5 cups of confectionery sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk, and a teaspoon of vanilla, and I mixed it all up, and I mixed it all up until I got all the little white dots out of it from the confectionery sugar, and this is the result of the brownies. I hope you try them because they're very easy to make and very quick to make and very quick to go. So if you like brownies, that's the way to go. And if you'd like any of these recipes, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Dalton Community Cable, 151 Park Avenue, Dalton, Mass. 01226. And that is all from our studio today. Please have a great day.